Last time on Wanderlust.
Mitchell, Maul, Juliet, Fred, Otto and I found a staircase over here that we think Lance went down. Guffy, where's Guffy? Juliet?
I'm here, but I have not seen Juliet, Maul, or Fred for a while. Maul, Juliet, and Fred, you are looking down in this, spiraling hole in the ground, and you see eyes open and start scuttling up towards you. Lots of eyes.
I think time to go. Hello? She, kind of waves.
You see one set of the eyes, and you can sort of, as your eyes are adjusted somewhat to low light, you can vaguely see a shape here, something that's shorter than you, but not by much. You can maybe kind of see the outline of two thin legs and long arms, and then these glowing eyes.
Do you come bringing pain?
No.
Others came recently. They brought death with them that we have not known in time countless. Long ago, we fell out of our homes. We dug down to find safety, and then we blocked the path to hide those of us that craved death.
To prevent them from getting the danger below from getting above.
To us, hope has died. The only solace is below in the stone.
And the room is destroyed as more of that body than you realized was there spirals in and starts chewing through the stone, spiraling down below. Fred, and you are terrified beyond speaking of the surface of the world.
I think he immediately just turns and runs back down that tunnel where we met the frog people.
It's Fred, right? Where are you going in such a hurry?
So I've run into Lance. Lance, can't talk, gotta keep going deeper. And he just keeps going.
I'm gonna go find your friends. You stay here. Don't jump in front of a bomb.
Hello again. I see you found your way down to my home.
Hello, Siebert. This is the rest of our party.
Have the changes been happening down here? Have you noticed anything in the last few months?
You and the ones that came right before you.
All of you have just left Siebert's house. You're looking over an expanse of this luminous lichen that's growing over hard stones in this cavern. It's fairly flat. I say with a question mark as I look at my notes. It's fairly flat, but you can see, far off, there is some illumination from a small town that is kind of built around this, statue. It's hard to see because it's really far off with a beam of light hitting it. There is a road that would look like it's a road because people walked on stone a lot and the lichen is dead in a path through the fields that leads directly to this town. But that's kind of the lay of the land right now. So behind you is the tunnel that you came down that ends a little bit below where you are now with Lance and his people trying to blast their way through stone. And right now you're just talking to the stony frog people.
Can you remind me what the statue is?
You haven't seen it yet. It's real far away.
Oh, okay. And we've said goodbye to Siebert, right? He just told us about...
You did say, you guys had bounced at this point.
Did he give us directions on which way to go?
I mean, I think you just like pointed to town.
You can see the town. There isn't a lot down here.
I meant to find the guy that he said.
He was not specific.
He said we could go talk to Old Fellow, who would be helpful, but maybe not happy to see us. So, do we want to go find Old Fellow? It seems like we've got some time. She like looks over at Lance's people digging away or doing things that aren't exploding yet.
If we've got the time, we may as well. I mean, I'm curious if there's anything else we can find out about this civilization.
And prevent it from happening to Smoky Banks?
Ideally, yes.
Preferably.
So I think we'll head off down the trodden down trail.
Cool. So before you run off, Lance comes up out of the cave and makes his way over to Autumn. Autumn, he hands you a, like, small, space walkie-talkie, for lack of a better description, quickly. It's some high-tech gadget with a speaker on it and a button. I'm not saying we're on the same team. I'm not saying we're friends. But when we clear the rubble, I'll let you know. I'm guessing you care to go and chat. That's fine. If you want to share information, we can talk. But, and he hands you this little thing and goes, I'll be in touch.
We'll let you know if we find anything useful. Also, do we have to say, like, over? Is this like an actual walkie-talkie, or is it, like, more in real time?
I just talk into it. I don't know if there's, like, a specific... You can talk into it at the same time as me, and then we're both talking.
That's what I was asking.
Does that not how... Don't worry about it. Anyways, I'll see you later, I guess.
Have fun blowing up rocks.
I feel like... He looks grumpy as he stumbles off. Lance is a tired man.
Kill him with kindness, right?
Second time's the charm.
Maybe this time it will stick.
Do we know what Lance is looking for down here?
Vaguely the same thing as us.
Not exactly.
Okay.
The answer is always going to be an edge.
We could maybe chat with him about it later. Maybe Autumn.
Oh, I'm planning on it. I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Right, Juliet, you also have an in with him. He's afraid of you. We can do good. Juliet can do good cop, bad cop in the world.
Juliet has never been bad cop in her life.
It'd be a character growth moment.
First time for everything. You've also never murdered a man before.
Well, yeah, she has now, yeah.
Right. She hadn't murdered someone until she did.
Anyway, as we're walking over to the town, like as a group, Juliet will ask Mal, so have you run across any other folks like these toad people in your travels?
Specifically, subterranean, carapace-covered stony frogs? No, I have not run into specifically those types of people, but I have, I've lived underground for a time.
Oh. Well, what was that like? Who was there?
One of the nicer places I lived, actually. It was one of the more reptilian people.
Oh, the reptile folk.
Yeah, for them, it was a good way to maintain temperature. Climate control mattered a lot more, because they could neither be hot nor cold. So for them, den living was always more of a thing. And yeah, I mean, it was cozy. It was warmer than I wanted it to be, but eventually you just get used to a constant state of sweaty.
Got it. So were they were underground by, I guess, were they underground because of the same, similar circumstances that these people are? Or did it seem like they had always lived underground? This was their preferred habitat. They were not afraid of the sun?
They would go up on the surface. They just lived underground.
Okay.
But, so typically, when I've gone to the places that I've been at various states of this, right? And she kind of gestures around. If I'm coming in and out of the wild, then I'm seeing places that are interacting with whatever is happening here. Different people respond in different ways, and specifically those lizard people actually did okay. They lived underground already. They were sufficiently advanced to defend themselves from a lot of stuff. They didn't rely a lot on above surface agriculture, which was very helpful for them. So they did all right as things would come in and out, and I wasn't the first oddity that they had seen, so I think I was able to blend in easier. But yeah, I mean, this is not the first time that I've seen people afraid, and frankly, neither is Smoky Banks the first time that I've seen people afraid. Obviously, Lance, a more specific time.
Right. I guess I'm just wondering if, so like the lizard folk, did they get transported in the same way that Smoky Banks has? Or
not yet.
It was just they were encountering things from the wilds. Okay.
I don't think they had yet, but I don't think that was not a road that they weren't on.
Fair. What made you leave?
What made me leave there? It doesn't make me look good, so, but it was stealing. I stole it was stealing and then selling stolen goods and organizing the theft and selling of stolen goods. I will say they were rather affluent, but there was ripe opportunity to creatively repossess certain items, and I took full advantage of that. And then I got caught. So, mostly stealing. It maybe wasn't my best chapter of my life.
Fair. It sounds like a fascinating place.
They had really good food, and they also had very interesting technology that they were very trusting people. I don't think they were as used to the kind of duplicitous stuff that I would pull. So, yeah, I mean, at the time, I just kind of looked at them as, like, marks, you know? Like, oh, I can definitely turn a profit here, and I did really well. They had really interesting stuff, but, you know.
Well, we'll see if they show up here, too, with everybody else.
I hope they don't. It wouldn't be as bad as Lance, but I don't know that they'd be quick to forgive, so let's just hope they don't, you know?
Got it.
I'm very happy with the future I'm making with you, and it feels like I actually have one, which is great. There's a lot back there that I just kind of want to let go. You know, this is being with you, and don't take this the wrong way, is kind of the equivalent of like burning my life and getting a new identity and just starting over.
Got it.
So, you know, hopefully only Lance finds me here. That's kind of my goal.
Makes sense. No lizard folk then.
As she says this, she reaches down and kind of like takes your hand and leans in and goes, by the way, I'm really hoping to not burn this life and start over yet again. So just to be clear, I don't want to consider you. This is not like a burner relationship for me. Hopefully this one sticks, but I have a really bad track record. Full disclosure.
And the seventh time it stays.
I'm just saying I may have broken some lizard hearts and, you know.
Oh, well, that sounds like a story.
Is this loud enough that we can all hear?
Yeah, I would say she's not coy about this at all.
Okay, wait, hold up. Could you talk to them?
Eventually, yeah.
Because okay, but here's what I've been wondering. We can just talk to Lance.
Yes.
He understands us.
He does, yeah.
Why do we speak the same language if we're on different planets?
That's a great question. For him, it's an ability.
Okay, so it's not everyone. It's not this isn't the magic?
What? No. It's not it's not magic. I had to learn to speak lizard.
I mean, there's a lot of other magic happening, like, very clearly. Juliet has weird tattoos that are moving.
You know, like a what's a dermatological parasites are a thing.
I grow bark out of my face when people are threatening me.
I'm gonna say again, dermatological parasites.
Fred has a glowing heart.
Fred, honestly, I got nothing for you on the glowing heart. That is the first time I've seen that.
I'm just saying, magic is happening. I fought a wolf god.
I really...
Lance died.
I cannot argue with two of those. Those ones, I really don't have a defense for calling not magic. But no, I learned to speak lizard. And Lance is technologically more advanced than all of you.
Can you speak some lizard for me?
Huh?
Can you speak
Can I speak some lizard? She does this really weird thing. She's like, look, don't get weird about this. And then she, like, slithers her hand into your palm and does, like, weird, like, pokes and prods into your palms. And she's like, that's all the swears I remember.
You're gonna have to repeat that, like, 3 more times, and then we can move on.
All right, but campfire tonight, dermatological parasites, and lizard love. 2 stories I'm interested to hear.
And Fred having somewhat recovered, since we're not moving towards the surface, is going to chime in at this. You know, she could have just told Jenny Dunn and told you anything and said it was lizard, and you'd have no way to verify that.
When you say that, she turns around, stares at you, and goes, why would you ruin that for me? Why? Why would you ruin that, Fred? Do you know how long I could have kept that bit going? I just want you to know, in my head, that was totally a line of BS from her. She does speak lizard and was lying to Autumn as a joke, and Fred did just call it out. This is, again, Vinny, your weird ability to just read my mind.
Juliet leans over and, like, grabs her hand and, like, does the little finger thing, is like, lead the way.
She just looks, she goes, oh my gosh, later. I told you I taught her swears. Goodness. As you are walking your way across this kind of like gloomy, it's damp and not cold, but certainly not warm down here. It's a very clammy area that you're walking through. The smell is very kind of stagnant. You know, it smells kind of just like moist decay, as there's this slimy layer of lichen growing on everything that is basically this self-contained kind of small ecosystem of this stuff like dying and then regrowing in piles around, and is now being cultivated by these stony frogmen that are walking around through their fields. As you are making your way through here, it takes a good little while to get where you're going. It's not a short walk. This is enough fields to support a small town, right? So it's acres and acres and acres of this stuff that's been grown here. You can see the occasional person off in the distance with those long hooks, kind of scraping them over the rocks, gathering this stuff and then spreading like these tiny glowing spores as you are walking your way down. As you're maybe like halfway, 2/3 to town, you see a small company from town walking towards you. I want to give them a name. We're just going to call them the Stone Frogs, because that's easier. The Stone Frogs making their way towards you are in sort of finer clothes, in that they have clearly, like... This is an interesting question that I get to ponder right now. I think that the people coming towards you are kind of like iridescent. Their clothes are made from like this flowy kind of iridescent material. They are armed, and you can hear like this sound of kind of poorly in tune trumpets or horns kind of blowing a call as this party approaches you down the road. What's everybody doing?
I think Juliet will kind of like stop and like give them some room, so it's like they don't like walk right up to them, and put her hands up and say hello.
Let me be clear. You guys have like a minute before they're on top of you.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you that much warning. They're not right here right now. You get to do something before they're right here right now.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So standing off to the side and going, is a fine thing to do right now, but you have a minute, before they're in your face.
I try to look non-threatening.
All right.
Does Autumn's face do anything upon seeing them?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I could have told you they're like a war band coming out to meet us.
I guess, like, what does that mean about their intentions? Like, what is Autumn's face getting all bark-y.
It means there is danger. It doesn't necessarily mean someone is going to stab you in the back, but it means that there is danger.
Okay.
Estelle's gonna make sure that Guffy is healed and sitting next to her.
Okay. What about Fred?
I think Fred's just kind of chilling, waiting to see what happens. Fred is also, every so often, just checking over his shoulder to make sure sunlight isn't getting closer to him.
The sunlight is, in fact, in front of you in this case, because it's shining down on a statue that you are now getting closer to. Yeah, you all stop and just kind of wait in the path. This fanfare coming towards you is sort of more tragic the closer it gets, as you see that they are armed with things that do not look like the farming implement that the people that you've seen tending to the fields have, but it's also only kind of these are pointed sticks, and clearly not in good repair. The stone frogs walking towards you seem not super confident, and also are just physically smaller than you. There's maybe 10 of them, and as the horn playing gets closer, it just kind of sounds worse and tinnier as you realize it doesn't get that much louder than this. You heard it and you're like, that's far off, and then it's that just doesn't actually sound imposing. It sounds kind of as these soldiers, in air quotes, kind of slump up to you. When they are, within 10 yards, one of them stops and unrolls a scroll, and you can see thin, spindly arms kind of trembling.
Hi, my name's Autumn.
You say that. He flinches, doesn't say anything, and goes,
"The Lord Master Grim wishes to bid you welcome and give his warning for our requirement of peaceable and tactful behavior while you visit this stronghold." And when he says stronghold, he there is a pause as he looks back at the town of dry rotting wood and re-rolls the scroll. "The Lord Grim," and then a fairly short stone frog covered in way too much. What you can see now is clearly fish skin is plastered all over him, sewn together with a big cowl. Is that what it's called? What's the neck thing of a cape? Cloak, cape, collar. Big collared, very Doctor Strange cape. Lots of layers and complicated sewing, but all of the same material, maybe with some a crown of this lichen circling his head. He has a chipped piece of stone in a little handle as a sword, and walks forward very confidently up to all of you. Well, when he gets to you, he's belly button height, at best. "What are you doing in my domain?"
We are passing through, but we're hoping to talk to someone named Oldfellow.
"What business have you with him or with any of us?"
We are a bit new here, I guess you could say.
"Fools is what you are, meddlers and bringers of pestilence and foolish ideas. Why do you wish to speak with Oldfellow?"
We're hoping to get some history of the place, and I'm told that he is a good person to talk to. We are recent newcomers to this planet and are looking for some answers.
Make me some kind of convince him to not hate you roll,
Dexterous hands.
You give him a really good back rub.
Save that for the lizard folk. Genuine?
I mean, you're being straight up with him, so, you know.
Too bad you put plant identification and not rock identification.
+2 is a success. Just as a reminder.
Let me be clear. We do not wish to have any dealings with you or those of you that are toiling away below us, blasting at the rock, and who did harm to our people. But we see no reason to be immediately hostile. That being said, you are being watched. Mind that you conduct yourselves well, or you will have our swords to deal with.
And he, like, brandishes a really very small sword at you.
Would you like to have one of your people come with us as a guide and watcher, caretaker? Babysitter seems a little bit diminutive for both sides here.
A fine idea.
And then he claps his hand and goes,
Step forward, son. 'Tis long since time that you learn to be useful.
and a definitely taller than him and slightly more imposing looking stone frog shuffles up. He's also wearing way too much fish skin and like doesn't really know what to do, so he just like bows, and his dad just kind of like slaps him.
You do not bow to these. You are here to make sure that they conduct themselves properly.
And he just kind of like bobs his head awkwardly and stands there with like a little spear.
Well, we don't have to trouble you any longer. It seems like you're maybe busy, but we can go see Old Fellow now, if that's all right.
The Lord Grimm just goes,
I see no reason to stop this, but mind what I said, and boy, keep them in line.
He, says with a gesture at his son, and with a truly disappointing song of horns, the party turns and leaves, and doesn't walk directly towards town, but towards, like, the saddest, most broken down, most Addams Family but bad crap little manor house up on a small rise in a field of lichen. That's where his, little band of soldiers makes their way to. His son is standing there with you, extremely uncomfortably. He kind of shuffles from foot to foot, looks at you and goes,
Hello.
I'm Juliet. What's your name?
Henry Grimm. I hope...
Nice to meet you, Henry.
Every time you talk, he kind of like stops.
I hope I can be of benefit. I don't...
And he kind of like half lowers his spear and just goes,
behave.
And then shrugs.
Is there a strict code of conduct here that your father was worried about us breaking?
Those down in the cave, they harmed us. They brought weapons that we have not seen before, and they shot at us, and we were knocked seemingly dead, and then came back. It was an unpleasant experience.
Is everyone all right?
I'm fine, yes.
Oh, were you stunned?
Yeah, stunned is the correct term, I suppose. That's what it was, stunning. I am meant to be our villager's greatest warrior and defender. It did not go. My first trial as village defender disappointed my father greatly. I'm not totally sure what benefit I could, but I don't know how I could stop you, I guess, is what I mean.
Oh, I just mean we don't want to unnecessarily offend anyone here by doing something. We're not trying to stun you or anything. Just if we, I don't know, shake hands in an offensive way or something like that. I don't want to do that sort of thing.
The bar is truly very low. I mean, don't stun me.
All right.
And we should be good.
I can do that.
She is going to have about 75 more questions about the rules, though, just so we're clear.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure I can think of 75 questions about something else instead.
Do you frequently...
She's very thorough.
The rules don't hurt people, don't take things that don't belong to you, and don't be unnecessarily hateful, I guess.
And then don't take things that don't belong to you. Juliet just kind of like nudges Maul and like grins at her.
Please don't, Rob. We have very little that I think would be, unless you have a taste for fish.
Oh no, we wouldn't dream of taking anything from you. That was not offered as a gift. Let's go to Oldfellow.
Certainly.
As we're walking, so how do we understand Stone Frog Maul? Is that like just a dermal parasite, or is that magic?
They're speaking the same language as you.
Yeah, but why is that? We're on different planets.
I have no idea.
Magic.
The ruins have always been in your town. I mean, literally, your culture has grown up around those ruins.
The fact that we speak this... We have different languages on our planet.
Do you?
And we're in communication with all of them.
Actual time out. Do you have different languages on your planet?
We never established it. It's big enough, I figured, yes.
You didn't establish that.
I
but
did
we
right
didn't
now.
understand the markings on the ruins. Like, that was a foreign language to us.
Why are you guys doing this to me?
Zach's the one who brought it up. I thought of this like weeks ago and was like, I'm not going to say a thing. I'm going to be a good player.
No, I just got really curious about it today, where you're like, I've been to 7 different cultures. I'm like, did you speak lizard? I'm like, how does Lance speak the same language as us?
Oh no, I've trod all these trails already.
I would say in my head, Lance and Maul legitimately don't. But Maul is good at learning different languages. The frog people, I don't have a solid answer for. I had it solid in my head for a minute, and then the frog people really do ruin it.
Honestly, I really thought it was just magic, like the wild's magic. Like, we fought a wolf god in the sky at a certain point, like, we all speak the same language because of the wild.
This is Star Trek rules down here. They find an entirely new galaxy and everyone speaks English.
It's convenient like that.
Literally, brand new species shows up and they're just like, we like games! Like, what the... How? Okay. As Henry Grimm leads you into town, so that beam of light shines down into like a town square. It's dim, but better lit than most of the town. Most of the town is lit much the way that Juliet tried to, with like this hanging lichen that they've let grow into containers that they leave hanging on different places to illuminate the town. But there is sunlight shining down on a statue that has water like pouring out of it. It's a fountain. The statue itself is tarnished with age, but there is actually water shooting out of it. It depicts so imagine trumpet horn coming up, or, whatever.
Trumpet bell?
An expanding cone, right? Coming up out of the center with 2 jets of water coming out. Those jets of water look like a, untarnished gold sphere and an untarnished silver spear. That's like the only thing on this that has not decayed with time, because those metals don't.
Do you say spear or sphere?
Sphere, sorry.
Okay.
The water, like I said, shooting out, bubbling around in a fountain at the bottom where it clearly drains out to somewhere. And then in the center, though, that ray of light hits directly in the center that is hollow in this statue and goes down. So the water's bubbling up around that. But you are not taken directly to the town square. You ask to see Oldfellow. So instead, as you're coming into town, you're led off to the right, where you see for this area, a quite impressive, all the buildings here are the same kind of, they're made out of wood that was brought down with them, basically, right? So this is all found resources that they have painstakingly reassembled into a town and then left for a very long time. And there has just been this slow, dry decay of these buildings that are rotting away here. But still standing for right now. The building that you see, though, is clearly made somewhat of cut and moved stone as well as wood. It is better decorated, a little bit cleaner. It's 2 stories tall, which is impressive for this area. The only other thing you see being at all that tall was the manor house that Lord Grimm lived in. And the landscaping is maybe too generous, but you can tell that there are pathways through the lichen that were intentionally manicured and seem upkept as best they can be, leading into doors that lead into this building. Near the entrance, Henry stops and turns back to all of you.
I don't wish to alarm all of you. I would like to be as friendly as I can, but Oldfellow is, as his name would imply, old, and has the best memory of how our town came to be better than anyone else. However, he can be a little harsh. So, just keep that in mind, but go ahead.
And he, gestures towards this building.
It is always open. Wisdom and knowledge is always free.
Thank you, Henry.
Do you want to come in with us?
No, not even a little bit. I come here, once a month, and it's never a good time.
Why do you come here once a month?
He kind of, looks awkwardly and goes,
It is our duty to maintain a strong community and keep active in all aspects of civic. Because my dad makes me.
Oh, I didn't know if there was something if you were doing something more than just visiting him, or if he was training you in the histories so that you were a better town defender, or...
He more lectures, if I'm being totally real.
Do you like his lectures?
No.
What's your favorite subject he's taught you? Okay, let me rephrase that. What's the least bad subject he's taught you?
One time, we had a long discussion on the necessity of maintaining a... how did he phrase this? The right density of decay mat under the lichen to ensure proper cultivation.
Is it always just, practical knowledge? Never, stories or myths or anything?
Those two.
Do you like any of those?
No. Really, those are worse.
Are they all, the really moralizing ones where everyone dies in the end because, they didn't do everything exactly right?
No one dies in the end. We all end up down here in the end.
That does seem kind of worse, actually, yeah. Here, wait. Oh, hang on. I have something for you that you can occupy yourself with while we're getting a lecture. And she digs in her bag for one of her books and gives it to him.
Thank you.
And then he, gets in his bag and, rifles around. And he pulls out a... Oh, what do I want this to be?
This is maybe silly, but it is, it's meant to be a similar function to our, fountain there.
And he gives you this tiny little, very rudimentary kind of almost wind-up toy. So, it has, a shaft sticking out of it with a little handle that you can spin, and you can see that it has the same, it's, not exactly the same, but it is a kind of miniature version of that fountain, but just with a little hand crank on it.
Does this tell time?
No, no, it does this.
And he takes it back real quick, and as he spins it, this little lever, you can hear some workings in the bottom of it, and then a tiny little stream of water shoots out and collects in the bottom, and then he can just crank it and pump water around in a circle.
That's really cool, Henry. Thank you.
Thank you. It is of a similar design to that.
And he points back at the fountain.
Did you make this yourself?
I had some help, but yes.
You're a very talented engineer.
Oh, that is mostly the work of Rourke, but I do my best.
Hey, I couldn't even do something like this even with help, so...
Well, I feel the book is more valuable, but...
At this point, Fred's going to chime in. I think I'm going to have to meet this Rourke at some point. This stuff's awesome.
He is far more interesting than Old Fallow, but...
He shrugs.
Well, we gotta start somewhere. Let me know what you think of the book. You know, you're probably not gonna get through it all while we're in there. Well, you know, from what you've said, you might get through a lot of it. But we'll be back in a little bit. We won't hurt him, we won't steal from him, and we won't do anything hateful. Autumn goes inside.
All right, so you open the door and are met with what would be like most easily described and familiar to you guys as the inside of a church. There are pews. It is clearly a meeting hall. There's a center place where someone lectures, and sitting cross-legged in the center of the building is not a stone frog. Instead, there is sitting cross-legged, just basically a snake. It's the easiest way to describe it. The snake has arms and legs, but clearly has...
So not a snake. So not a snake. You know, the defining thing about a snake, not having arms and legs.
There are snakes with arms and legs. Anyways.
What?
Yes, there are. Are you guys going to fight me on this? There are definitely snakes with arms and legs. 100%. Look up armed and legged snake. Or maybe there's legless lizards. Might be the other way around. No, there's like definitions for snake beyond not having legs in this case.
I almost Googled armed snake.
So
It's not going to go well.
It says, what is the name of a snake with arms and legs? A tetrapodophis, Greek meaning 4-foot snake, is an extinct genus of lizard. It's not even a snake, it's just a lizard.
Extinct genus of lizard, though. It was a thing. Snakes are well, they're reptiles. It doesn't matter. This literally has a long coiling body that ends in arms and legs, right?
I get you.
A long enough tail that it can wrap around itself. And a straight up snake head looking at you. Hello, travelers. I'm glad you've decided to visit me. Please make yourselves comfortable. And its head kind of sways from side to side, staring at you.
Nice to meet you. My name's Autumn.
I'm Juliet.
Hello, Autumn and Juliet. And who are the others?
Nice to meet you. My name's Estelle, and this is Guffy.
And I'm Fred.
And Mitchell and Maul, and I think that's everyone we brought.
That is everyone.
And Henry's outside, but you already know him.
Why didn't he come in? Doesn't he enjoy my company?
He is busy with a cultural exchange program, learning as much about us as he can.
Huh. I don't think he likes me. We'll have to discuss that next time we meet. Anyways, please sit down, make yourselves comfortable.
I do.
Yeah, Juliet sits down.
He looks over at Estelle and Fred.
Yep.
Yeah, Fred will sit down.
Well, now that we're all here, what might I do for you?
We were wondering how you guys came to be here, and because we live in a town above you guys, and the ruins of your civilization is next to our town, and we're wondering what happened and how you guys came to be down here, and we have heard rumors that you were not always stone reptiles or amphibians.
Oh, no, I was not always a snake. That was a change. And as he looks at all of you, he goes, I can see some of you have changed too. Such interesting tattoos and hair, and your chest glows. These seem like not horrible changes. Once I think we looked much like you do. Maybe a little different. But now here we are, grown into something else. So yes, we did once look different, and I find it interesting to hear that something grew up On the carcass of what used to be my home. I hope it's interesting for you to look at.
Well, it's very interesting. We have universities and research studying it all the time.
How sad for that to be what I have become. So, what else would you like to know? I once was human.
I don't know why that's sad. You are an inspiration to scholars everywhere.
My life is history. That seems sad to me.
No, your life is notable history. Because everyone's life becomes history. Not everyone's life is study.
Autumn, I think, Autumn, you'll have to excuse Autumn. She is very much looking on the positive side of this, but I can understand why that might not be where you see this. Did your change come from doing like a set of trials?
So, earlier on the journey. Yes, sort of. At first, it was a small thing. We were a kingdom near an unexplored forest. What could be so bad? We grew and we farmed, we had fields and a great lord, happy to keep us safe. And then things came from the forest. Creatures much like me. Creatures changed by something. And after long enough, we began to notice it amongst ourselves. Oh, at first it seemed exciting, doesn't it? Seeing a new world, growing because of it. So much to discover and so much to become of academic interest to others. But after a long enough time, it got worse. Our seasons changed. Our fields turned to rot, and the creatures pouring out of the forest became less friendly. Oh, certainly we had a lord and strong folk to defend us. But people are unused to horrifying nightmares pouring out of the dark woods and carrying off their children, so we dug down here. And we changed. I think of it as adaptation. Now we may at least survive, whereas before we certainly would have died. So down here we remain. And I have become the unpopular and unloved voice that reminds people that above us there is only death. And below us are those of us who went madder still than what you see here.
When you came down, were there others down when you went below the surface?
You are the first new faces I have seen in quite some time, except, of course, my own.
So when things started going poorly for your town and you went...
We hid.
When you hid, there was no one else there, here, I guess.
No. And frankly, it is my hope and my intention to convince those of us that remain to forget that there was ever anything else.
Did anyone go back up to the surface after you came down?
Not everyone followed us down here, certainly. I am sure they are dead.
How long have you been down here?
He looks over at a wall that is so absolutely packed full of small, perfectly the same size and the same distance apart check marks. The wall has rotted. The original wall rotted away and had to be replaced. One wall and that many marks ago. That's the problem with being down here. I begin to forget what I was before, and in some ways that is good. It's what I want. My dearest hope is that everyone down here forgets the sun, forgets any idea of going above and living the life that we once had. I want us to forget. However, I believe it is my curse to carry knowledge, to ensure that no one else lets it grow in their minds as the possibility of change. That is my dearest ambition, for us to all stay the same. Now, what I see when I look at all of you is a curse, a plague of knowledge of the outside, a plague of the potential for growth in a new place. Take the young Lord Grimm or Henry, a mind so ready to believe in something. I am confident it would be his death. And in my own way, I care for the boy. So, I hold knowledge away from him.
Of what came before?
Of anything but what is here in front of us.
So then why are you sad that your entire life before has become just academic study and history? If you want to just forget it all...
Because I remember. Because to me, I still remember the life we once had. I get your point. It would be... This is the difference. It would be something for my life to have renowned. Yes? To have a legacy. Instead, what I remember is the sun shining on my face, the feeling of hope and full stomachs and seas of grain. And what I have now is the knowledge that all of that has decayed to the point of academic interest, while I sit underground in a cave, transfigured into a snake. That's what I'm hoping everyone else down here will forget, to the point that they never knew it at all. But someone has to remember why we don't go up the path. Someone has to remember why we fear the sunlight in the middle of town. And someone has to remember why we don't dig deeper. And that's me. And now all of you, of course. Which I find terrifying.
Well, it is natural for things to grow from decay. That was part of your life above, right?
Certainly. It was part of my life. In the past.
I guess, is it satisfying as a teacher to Henry?
No.
To have him never change?
No. It's not satisfying. But he's not dead. The alternative was all of these people dying. So given the choice between dying or never being satisfied with the life that young Henry gets to live, I choose life. And I hope that Henry forgets he ever had the choice.
Is this life? Sitting afraid in a cave? Unable to...
Close as I get. It's as close as I get.
But we all have to die at some point. Like, it's scary, but a true thing. Like,
certainly, and I think this is where, again, there is an understanding of what that death is. There is a difference between dying in the understanding that you are part of a community that will continue to grow, and dying with the understanding that your life, the one that you cherished and loved, is now a history book. It's a different thing.
So has your community grown down here?
No. But it hasn't disappeared either. We're still here.
But it has. It has for all in meaningful ways. No one knows you're here. There's just the however many of you down here, never growing, never changing. Like, you just died in a different way. Like, you're still alive biologically, but you're not doing anything. You're not even, like, you're barely surviving.
As you say this, like, the snake uncoils itself around and around and around and kind of, like, slithers very close to you and leans directly in your face to the point where all you can see is, like, a not fanged but large toothed mouth and, like, burning eyes right in front of yours. That is the truth.
that I get to carry, and the one that I hope everyone else forgets. This is why no one likes coming here. This is why speaking to me is a misery. Because the only thing I can counsel them to do is forget, and forget, and forget.
See, but that's where you're wrong. You can counsel them other things. You're no better than the wilds. You just make the choice for them.
Of course I do. I'm a teacher.
And then he slithers back to his little platform. Now, what other questions do you have for me?
Can you tell us more about what's below the ground, below you?
We all change differently, as all of you can attest to. Some of us still remained sociable. Some of us turned into something worse, and those had to be ostracized. Far down below.
Is there a giant chitinous snake below, by chance?
I hope not, but something dug the tunnel.
Yes, that's what I was concerned about, yeah.
And there's a reason why I counsel those to not dig deeper. I have a concern about large chitinous dragons slithering their way from underneath of us. So, hopefully the answer to that is no, but probably the answer to that is yes. And that is another thing that I hope people forget. The tunnel's always been there. Why think about what made it? It's not here.
Any other advice for
Leave.
talking to the people below?
No, don't. My advice is don't, and leave.
Got it.
Or stay. And really stay. That is an option after all. You could stay.
I think we're fine, thanks.
You'll get a taste for the food, and you'll forget other things.
I appreciate the offer. I don't think I have anything else.
Cool. Anyone else got anything? Mandy, you look pensive.
I'm good.
I don't think I have any more questions for him. I'm just thinking about what all that means.
Okay, are all of you getting up and leaving?
Yeah.
As you do, you just hear the voice from behind you say, "Always remember, the doors are open and wisdom is always free." As you walk out and find, Henry sitting on, a little, lump of rock, just, devouring the book. Not literally eating, by the way. I just mean, reading rap. I made, a gesture to indicate page turning that I realized would not come through at a podcast.
That would be pretty funny if he was just sitting there like, this is the most precious thing you've given me, and just starts eating it.
No, he's just reading the book a lot. What book do you think you gave him, by the way?
I don't like one of my pulpy Rosa Riviera books.
Okay.
Which, man, is exactly what frickin' Old Fallow does not want him to read.
Gotta say, I didn't tell you not to do that, but boy, that was a really bad thing to do to Old Fallow's mind.
I don't think I could have done something worse.
Yeah, that's true. When you were like, we don't want to break rules, and I didn't explicitly say that, this was breaking the rules, but boy, you accidentally did.
Right, very active adventurer on the surface, going around making change.
Anyway, vive la resistance.
Well, I think we've narrowed down. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Henry's
I'm very
here.
sorry. Oh, I'm not. I'll keep reading.
Just keeps reading the book.
Don't misbehave. I'll keep reading.
Well, I think we can cross that fate off of the potential desired outcomes for Smoky Banks.
Was it ever on the list?
Well, it wasn't my top thing, but it's always good to keep an open mind. But I think that can be closed now.
Okay, I will say that I thought we were just going in to prevent this from the get-go. You had a much more open mind than me on this one, Juliet. Good for you. That sounded sarcastic. I did not mean it that way. The person controlling my actions might have a really bad headache right now.
Do you have more? Sorry, am I interrupting? Do you have more books? I mean, do you have more books?
I don't think I carry more than one at a time typically when I go out. Mitchell, did you bring any books to read?
Mitchell goes, yeah, I did, but then, gets in his pack and takes out a book and gives it to Henry and just goes, yeah, you know what? You need it more than me, and I've already read it.
Think of it, Mitchell, we're gonna have such a good book club tonight, though.
I think this was bad. I'm not sure we should have done that.
Well, hopefully we'll come back through this way, and then you can pick your book back up and talk about it.
No, Julie, I don't mean that I want to not have the book. I mean, he literally just said explicitly, don't tell specifically Henry anything, and we just gave him 2 books.
But they're fiction.
Hey, Juliet, did you bring one of my books with you?
No. Was I supposed to?
Damage control, guys.
Well, wait, hold up. You were planning on listening to that at all? The old man who's saying suppressing information is the way to go. You're telling me Reformed Sheriff Mitchell.
Autumn, I was a member of a secret society for 2 decades.
You also said...
What we did was hide information.
You also said that was the wrong thing to do.
It was, but that was a big decision. My point is not that we shouldn't tell Henry everything, and Henry at this point is just staring at you guys like he's watching a tennis match. But just that we should maybe on the, careful about it.
Okay, Sheriff Mitchell, who's the person who broke open your secret organization within a week of being in town?
I actually don't know exactly who you're specifically referring to. It was a lot of...
I'm talking about me.
Oh, well, yes.
when my girlfriend had me on a radio broadcast and then I talked about the wilds and going into the wilds.
Oh, gosh, I forgot you did that. You remember that I was kind of upset, right?
I'm just saying, what did you expect from me?
That's a fair point, I guess.
Yeah, James Holden.
Information wants to be free.
Just saying, there's a time and a place. I agree with that in, theory, but there's a way to make him... Doesn't matter, I think this is a rung bell.
I'm just saying, he seems like he's making a decision for everyone in town because he's scared of change. And change...
Mm-hmm. And you are also making a decision for everyone in town by saying everything all the time. There's both.
No, I'm not. I'm giving them the option to make decisions. That's different.
Sure.
The wilds comes for us regardless if we want it to or not. How hard did you try to keep this under wraps and the wilds still came? You can see the past! You knew that this was gonna happen! You have, quantifiable proof that nothing you did in this stopped the wilds from coming for Smoky Banks.
I will say technically, all of this, literally more effective than me, so I will say there is a similarity between me.
Was it more effective? They are one step further on this path than we are. That doesn't mean more effective.
They've had less fatalities than I had.
No. They had less fatalities since they've moved down here. We haven't got to this step yet.
True.
We haven't got to this step yet.
That's a fair point.
And we're not getting to this step, by the way, pointing at everyone.
That's a fair point. I agree with you. I'm not arguing with that. What I am saying is that I can understand where Snake Man is coming from, even if I disagree with the end result and his methods. I get sort of where he's coming from, is all I'm saying.
I'm just saying it's coming for him whether he wants to or he wants it to or not. Do you want to know why? How I know this?
Because we showed up.
We came here.
Yeah.
Yep, we showed up.
Starting to have feelings about that, too.
Well, here's the thing. Let's say for a second we decided not to come down here. Do you want to know what had happened? Lance showed up. Change comes for us. And you can choose to be the master of your own fate, captain of your destiny, or you can sit there and let the wilds turn you into tree people because you're afraid that you might change.
I'm not precisely saying that you're wrong, but
that sounds like a lot of hedging there, buddy.
That's because there's a lot of ways to be wrong, and you can err in the wrong direction. That's all I'm saying. There's a moment to be, thoughtful about this and intentional in our direction. That's all I'm getting at.
All right. Anyway, how are you, Henry? How's the book?
I find all of this very fascinating, and I would like more of them.
Juliet can magic them for a fate point.
How was speaking with old fellow?
Awful. Pretty awful.
We can see why you only go once a month.
Yep. It's not the most fun part of being down here.
Well, if we find a way to change things for the better up on the surface, I at least would be happy to see you again if you wanted to visit. I don't know what's going to happen with everything, and she kind of like gestures at everything.
Is the surface safe?
Define safe.
Are you in mortal danger when you're on the surface?
Constantly, no. Occasionally, yes. We also have a profession that we are town defenders, so...
So am I.
All I'm saying is the doors are open if you're looking for something new. Just maybe don't tell old fellow.
How often do you defend your town?
Normally or lately?
Currently.
A lot. Too much.
You see his face kind of falls.
Old fellow speaks about stories of defending a town, or of renown, or of glory. He says frequently they are not like these.
And he like gestures at Rosie Riviera.
Not so certain that things go well, or that things have a happy ending.
I would be lying if I said that they did. But just because something's dangerous doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back to kind of like reading his book, flipping through pages. He's a quick reader. I envy my character this ability to read quickly.
Anyways, what would you like to see next of our little village?
Can we go see the statue?
Certainly.
Can you tell us anything? Yeah, as we're like walking over there, can you tell us more about the fountain? What it means, where the water comes from, what it symbolizes?
So, if you are walking towards the building you're just now leaving from is in the northeast part of town. The fountain, so then, would be southwest of you, further southwest. He points like so through the fountain across. There's a little building there. He goes,
there is where old Rourke works and houses some of his finer inventions that he uses to bring water from further off. We have a small lake, and there are fish there. We pump water up to the town, and that is what feeds the fountain.
When he gets up there, he goes, "May I see this?" And he like points at the little figure that he gave you.
Yeah, I hand it to him.
He opens up the bottom and shows that there's like a small, what would it be called? Like a small wheel that turns what is basically like a tiny little pump inside of there. So when you spin it, it like works a pump that squirts out the water.
There are much larger versions of this that we use to move some water, that old Rourke invented. He was apparently quite famous before we came down here.
How do you power them? Do you use...
There is a small river that flows and wheels.
And he like gestures off towards kind of where Rourke's place is. There's like a few wheels in a river that flows through town.
Okay. I didn't know if they had to manually crank the fountain all hours of the day.
No. His is hand crank in lieu of, water wheels.
Yeah.
I don't have more questions, but Fred maybe does.
I know that you said the statue was in the sunlight. Fred would not go do the statue then, in that case. As is the fountain also?
Yeah, so the statue is a fountain, yeah, and sunlight hits it.
Oh, the statue is a fountain. Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say Fred is keeping his distance from this area.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide whether he was close enough where he could hear the conversation still.
Probably, like, that could be on the way over there, and there is, like, an area of illumination that you could stand outside of, you know what I mean? And, like, people, as a rule, do not get close to this fountain. It is meant to be kind of a negative reminder, right? This is not meant to be oh, look at the cool fountain. It is meant to be this is a scary fountain and a sad fountain. Like, this is not a place where people congregate and speak merrily. It is a place that people try not to look at, but are always reminded of danger.
Fun.
See, I'm trying to think if Fred would even have the, like, fortitude of mind to even hold a conversation if the conversation is moving towards the sunlight right now.
Well, he also pointed out Rourke's hut. That's why I thought Fred was interested in talking to Rourke. That's all. I don't think I have more.
Yeah. I think Fred would want to go over to talk to Rourke.
Yeah, let's go over and talk to Rourke first then. Is anyone going with Fred, or is Fred going alone?
I was going to talk to Henry at the fountain.
Okay. No, I mean, Fred, you guys can go over to the fountain. That's cool. Does anyone else, though, want to go and see Rourke's hut?
I think I'm staying by the fountain.
Okay.
I'll go with Fred.
Okay. So Fred and Estelle, you make your way over to this, like, little... This should look like kind of Da Vinci-ish, right? There's little, like, half-formed inventions laying around and kind of the sound of hammering away. When you get there, you realize there's no door on the building. It's kind of like this open-air little workshop, and you see a little hunched over one of these stone frogs just, like, chipping away at some stone.
It's quite the workshop you've got there.
You see he, like, startles and drops his hammer and turns around.
Oh, hello. You must be those. Not the ones that brought stunners, but the others that I've heard of from above.
Yeah, we came from up above. And no, we don't plan on stunning anybody.
Interesting. That is good to hear. Now I have one very important question for you. What is that?
And he points at Guffy.
Oh, this is Guffy. He's, my dog. He's a pet. Do you have pets?
He kind of, like, walks over. He walks with a cane, and he's got a beard. He walks over and kind of pats the dog.
He's very friendly.
Oh, I can tell that, certainly.
He looks up at you.
Have you considered all of the things a creature like this would be able to pull? Wagons, sleds, plows. You could use him to power mini machines.
Estelle looks over at her panting, goofy-looking dog who's got his, like, little dog harness on with pouches on the side. I mean, he does exactly what I need him to do. He's a very good guard dog.
Oh, certainly, and I'm certain quite a loving one,
He says, like, giving chin scritches.
Now, I am certain all of you are here, hopefully in a more friendly manner than your counterparts, but what might I do for you?
Well, I'm interested in the stuff that you make, because I'm also kind of a craftsman, but I don't think I can make anything this intricate.
Oh, nonsense. I am sure you could make things far finer than me, judging by what you are wearing and what you are carrying, but I do what I can. The ability to move a little bit of water and make a fountain is all fine, but mostly trickery. But people seem to, I say enjoy it, but they rather used it to mark a negative place, but I appreciate that my work is given any spot of importance.
Well, in any case, I'd love to pick your brain on some of your techniques.
Certainly, I have not had anyone to share with except for, the Henry Grimm, and I believe I may have told him all that I have to tell, and certainly you have some interesting tidbits stored away there in your mind that I could use.
Sure. Willing to share what I know as well, if you think it'd be helpful.
Certainly.
make me a crafting check, like one of your like smithing whatever checks.
Okay. I rolled bad. That's only a +4.
Okay, I'm gonna take that bad and do something with it, but you're not gonna know yet. You know, this is like a thing pops up on the screen, like someone will remember this moment.
I mean, I rolled a -1.
And you have ridiculous skills in this. This is like a narrative moment for Fred. What do you and this old Da Vinci dude get up to? This is like montage of you guys getting to like make some stuff together or, you know, play around with some materials together. You know, you get to show off a little bit.
Oh, gosh. Well, I think the thing that Fred is most interested in is how he makes makes things that have lots of tiny parts that work together, like the clockwork type stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
Because most of Fred's creations so far have been big monolithic type things where it's like a hammer or an axe or...
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And
he's been like forging stuff, not like mechanically fiddly stuff.
Yeah.
And what do you want to show him that's like your, this is me flexing on things, which I guess you kind of already said, but, you know.
I could show him some of the... I don't really have any of the raw material on me, I wouldn't think. But I could show him some of the special metals I found and how I managed to work them into creations. Like I could borrow the glowy grabby and show off that.
I'll give you an option here. You can show him that. If you use that as raw material, that's something. If you don't use it as raw material, that's something else. I will say the result of this will be as relevant as you potentially giving up an interesting item.
I mean, I think that's up to Juliet. I think Juliet's the one that has the glowy grabby, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but don't you all have various items made of that? Like, I think you have an axe or like a spear or something. And
I have a flashlight.
I have a spear.
Yeah, because I think all of you had some item made from that.
Yeah, Fred had an amount of the metal that was used for it. The rest of us just had it repurposed onto something else.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I think I used some of the special metals I had into making the stuff I have, or to make the stuff we have. I guess I used the glowy grabby as an example, but I guess I didn't have to be that one. What did I say I did with my axe? I don't remember.
I thought you said you made yourself an axe a while ago.
I do, yeah, I made myself an axe, but I don't remember like what.
Yeah, you made yourself a really nice axe, and Autumn just got like a very bland spear. I remember this.
My point is, any one of those items could be given to use as raw materials if you wanted to show those off specifically.
Sure, I'll give up my axe to use as raw materials. I can always make a new axe.
Cool. So to work this metal, it actually needed a relatively lower amount of heat because it was more like almost an aluminum. And so basically, like what he had the ability to do, you know, he would make machines, but these were larger. So, you know, like things the size of water wheels and whatnot. So you guys were able to shrink that down quite a bit and add a lot of durability to those parts, making these tiny little mechanical things, you know? So for the first time in a while, there's like a fire burning in his shop as he's like grabbing dry lichen enough and like packing it into a really small contained area and like using air to blow it hotter, or maybe has some like charred material that he could reburn to get this metal hot enough. So there's like smoke and light and sound coming from his shop as you guys are making these little creations, you know, of whatever, you know, like he makes these little mechanical things. And a small crowd starts gathering around because this is like the loudest and also the most like pungently smelling the shop has been, and also the most brightly lit.
While Fred and what's his name?
Rourke.
While Fred and Rourke are getting into their thing, Estelle is going to be kind of like window shopping around the shop. And you said it's like a bunch of like Da Vinci-esque things. I want to see if he has anything that's like, because they're down here and they're like it's I don't know if they're necessarily like climbing on walls specifically, but I want to know if he has anything that's like can like a parachute-esque invention that can keep someone from like falling really hard or have them grip to the wall better or something like along those lines. I was trying to think of things that they would like need while they're down here.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me ask this. Why are you looking for it?
We're going further down and I don't know. Well, okay. So Estelle is looking to look and I don't know what they would have. Me, the player, thinks that might be something that is A, useful, and B, maybe something that they use in their everyday life.
Interesting. Make me a investigation of some sort.
Okay. I don't think I have any investigation. I guess inquisitive.
That works. Yeah, definitely.
+2.
Okay. Again, this is one of those things. I'm counting that as as a success, but, little thing. Someone remembers this, right?
That's fine.
So, okay. Just putting together a lot of stuff that's going on. So, as Fred and Rourke are working together and kind of showing each other this stuff, Rourke is basically making, like automatons isn't exactly the right, not like literally thinking machines that walk around, but, he's using small gears to simulate motion and stuff, and it's like, oh, this is like the coolest thing. I've never gotten something this small and this strong that could be used to make this fine of motion. And then, Estelle, you're like looking around and you pull out these things that look like, those like, what's it called? Those like Da Vinci like air screw things,
No idea what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think they're called an air screw, right? Am I wrong? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
It was like Da Vinci invented the helicopter and never got it to work, I don't think.
Aerial screw.
Aerial screw. So
you find... Or a helicopter.
Yeah, you find like arrays of those, and like as you're like holding them up, like, Rourke, what are these for? He's like, oh, perfect. Yes, I need that. And he like comes over and grabs it from you and starts like affixing gears and stuff to it. Meanwhile, back over at the fountain, all of you are standing and looking at this fountain with Henry Grimm.
So does like the sunlight hurt you if you touch it?
Henry gives you a look and just goes,
why would I touch it? Why would I want to touch it?
We were told not to go out into the wilds, and then we did that pretty immediately.
You should maybe listen to people around you that give you good advice.
I mean, if we did that, then some children would have died.
You are not making me want to come up to the surface more.
That was before the animal attacks. Well, it was an animal attack. It was before things got...
That was before we were here.
It was before we were here. That's a good way of putting it.
Okay. But no, I do not believe sunlight hurts me.
And he kind of like looks around and darts his hand in it.
I'm fine.
Right, I don't want to push you where you don't want to go, but like, Old Fallow seemed weird about anyone remembering anything ever. And sunlight's great.
I don't think literally sunlight is necessarily thought to be dangerous, rather what it represents. It is the danger of what lives above us, somewhat you included.
I mean, that's very fair.
Well, it's good to clarify that it's only symbolic and not physical. We wouldn't want to harm you.
It would be pretty bad.
No, I don't believe sunlight literally hurts me.
It'd be pretty bad if we invited you out there and then you just burst into flame because of sunlight.
Right, exactly. We don't want to do that.
Have you seen that happen before?
No, but it was in a book I read.
I just imagine Autumn being like, Juliet being like, no, Autumn being like, no, and at the same time, Mom being like, yes.
What was the book called? Do you have it? I would like to read it.
It's back on the surface. But if I could find this hole, we could like do like a little like thing down, like a little elevator system, and I could give you books whenever you wanted.
A book pulley.
I think this is a good idea that I get to stay down here. Or, anyways, but yes, so the fountain.
You seem like you had a thought there, Henry.
Well, I guess get to stay down here could maybe be phrased as need to stay down here, but...
Well, if you change your mind, you'll have friends on the surface.
when you say that, you hear like the sound of ringing metal, and you look over and see smoke and fire kind of like billowing out. Not like it's on fire, but you can see fire in Rourke's shop, and you can see Fred and a little bearded stone frog working away at something that looks a lot like an aerial screw, and like a crowd beginning to gather around it.
We should probably go check in to see what they're doing, I guess.
Yeah. She's like looking at she's like magnetically pulled to the interesting machine.
As you like go over and look, you see like Fred and this little stone frog, like I said, working on this aerial screw. And Fred, you get to make a choice here, right? You have an aerial screw attached to little metal gears that have, you could even almost make like springs that could like wind and hold energy. How are you testing this device?
How tall is the cave we're in?
Really, very, very tall. Hundreds of feet.
And how big does it have like a basket or is it like a seat? Like how many people can fit in it?
That's kind of up to you to decide. You kind of helped make this. So, the answer is going to be you rolled pretty well. The result, let me put it this way, the result of your roll is not how well this works, it's what happens because of how well this works.
Okay. I would imagine Fred would have put into the design that it had like a basket that could hold the party. I guess how many of us are there? 6? 7?
7 people.
6 and Guffey.
6? Am I counting myself too many times?
Yeah.
So 7.
8 if Henry comes with.
Yeah, and he's just gonna try to deploy it in this cave and see if it flies.
So as you're like getting ready to deploy this machine, you see rushing towards you and playing a very bad trumpet fanfare, all of the soldiers, in air quotes, led by Lord Grimm. He rushes up and kind of shriek croaks at you, "What are you doing?" As a tiny little stone frog with a big old beard hops in a basket and is launched up into the cave while his shop is burning with fire and new metals. Thanks for listening to this episode of Wanderlust. Music for this show is credited down below. If you like this campaign, you can find more of our shows at the Wandering Gamer website or on Podbean. You can also find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links in the description. Now bear in mind, in the wilds, some wander to get lost, and some wander to find themselves.